Welcome to Comically Comics, your one-stop listen to all things comics. We're talking books, movies, TV shows, video games, and more. I must forewarn you, though, we are a spoilercast, and what that means is we consider all properties, past, future, and present, to be valid, and we will spoil the hell out of them. I'm your host, Michael, along with my two co-hosts, Richard and Jeremy, and with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, it is Sunday, March 31st. Happy Easter to everybody out there celebrating today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves and had a great day. If not, same thing applies to you. Hope you enjoyed yourself and you had a great day. So, yes. Regardless. We're taking a break from March Madness because Jeremy is off. So we're going to go over some news that we have been putting off. Hopefully, y'all will sit back and enjoy. And like to hear some commentary from y'all in the comments, whether it be on the YouTube, because we're going to put this out on YouTube the Wednesday after it airs. Or, you can also make comments on Spotify now. So you can do that. So go check us out. Or if you want to, hit us up on Instagram. Yeah. Always do a post on Mondays where, advertising the episode's out. So you can make comments there.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. Well, we're doing March News-ness is what I'm calling this episode. March News-ness. That's right. You come for the news, you stay for the madness.
Right? Yes. Yes. We will be back at it next week. As far as the March Madness goes, with X-Men facing off against Dark Phoenix. So make sure you mark your calendars and you're here for that. Because once that game is done, we move on to the next round. And so there's only going to be, there's going to be 4 games. So 8 teams left after that. So we're at the Elite 8 at that point.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I don't have the bracket in front of me. Let's see here. 4. Yes, 8.
Yes.
Simple math. 2 times 4 equals 8.
That's great. In the meantime, let's go through some of this news. Speaking of Mutant Madness and mutants, we've got some Deadpool promo art that came out. It's a nice Wolverine in the background with the word Snick in front of him. And within those letters of Snick, you see some silhouettes of different characters that I guess are supposed to be in the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. One of them being looking like Deadpool. Another one, Dogpool, looks to be a head pool and a baby pool and a kid pool. So
I love the head pool one. I like that one's a funny joke. I don't know how I feel about kid pool and baby pool, because they don't. I don't know. Head pool rhymes with Deadpool, so I like that.
Yeah.
Plus, I have a theory. I'm wondering if it's the decapitated head of Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That would be fantastic.
That would be really funny. I don't know how, because he technically, I think you mentioned this when we were talking about it off podcast a couple of weeks ago. He shot that version, but maybe it's another alternate universe. But anyway, I'm excited to at least see some variants of Deadpool in this movie.
Well, so they've already established that just because you go back in time, that doesn't change the future. It just makes a different branch.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
So, since he did kill that one, it's still branched off, though. We still have what we have.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so that does work. I hope that's the case.
It would be even better if he was just I thought I killed you, you son of a bitch.
And of course, I like that his mode of transportation, it seems to be, is a little beanie, helicopter hat.
The old school, Three Stooges or whatever, little rascals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, the propeller hat. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So with this being the case, I would say it's safe to assume that we're going to get a Deadpool core in this movie.
Oh,
because cool. Another thing that all those are members of the Deadpool core.
Okay.
And then on top of that, if you watch the trailer, which I'm sure several other people, you've seen this and they've pointed it out, but there's a set of gloves holding Uzis,
right,
that don't look like Deadpool's gloves. And so a lot of people are speculating that's Lady Deadpool.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. And yeah, I hope that's the case. That'll be cool. Again, I like the idea of seeing a whole multiverse of Deadpool. The what do you call it? The Council of Deadpools.
That's great. I know that Ryan and them have leaked or whatever the dog pool. So right, we've seen now that if you've been paying attention. So not you, but the audience out there. I know you've been paying attention. So, but there has been people have speculated on Kid Pool being in the back of a car. So I have seen that. You can't really tell if it's him or not, but that's what people have been saying. I never heard anything about Baby Deadpool or baby pool, and nor head pool. So, but I love your idea of that being the Origins Wolverine, that Deadpool. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because he already looks like zombified or whatever. Like he already looks gross and ugly. So just go ahead and do that.
Yep, it works.
All right. Something that did not work. Madam Web lost a lot of money.
Yes.
Like a quantum shit ton of fucking money.
Shit ton.
But
if you're Ant-Man,
that would be great for Quantum Mania, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Per Collider, they needed 150 million to 200 million estimated to break even. Opening weekend was 26.2 million in the US and Canada and 51.9 million worldwide. And we all know that it goes downhill from there. Yeah, this is a fuckery right here. Like,
yeah, good. Fuck them. That article when I was reading, here's a little like excerpt from it. It's not difficult to see why, because as blunt as it may sound, it's hard to think of any element of Madam Web that works. The acting, the writing, the direction, the action, the cinematography, the editing, the special effects. All of these components and more left something to be desired, which is a great shame given that everyone involved with the film has produced quality work in the past. Overall, the story of Cassandra Webb, Dakota Johnson, feeling drenched in the woes of superhero fatigue, not to mention gallons of Pepsi thanks to the film's egregious product placement. Yeah, like, I gotta be honest with you, superhero fatigue is not what killed this movie. Like, this movie is just bad. As they kind of say at the beginning of of that line, it's just bad top to bottom. It's just such a bad movie.
I think that's the thing. I think we need to realize that it might not be so much that there's superhero fatigue out there, but more so lack of good superhero
movies,
like content.
Yes, I agree.
Because if some good shit comes out, I think we're all fucking ready and excited to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing. I don't know of anything else that's just super hype that everybody's like clamoring about or talking about. And maybe it's because my head is so far up the nerd's ass that I just don't see anything else.
Yeah. I know they're currently everyone's hyped for Deadpool, but that's about it.
Now, I know a lot of the MonsterVerse right now, that's pulling a lot right now. I know that. But still, how nerd is that?
I mean, I don't know. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I'm really dying to go see that movie, honestly. But I
want to see that in -1.
Yeah, I haven't seen -1. Everyone keeps talking about it, and
fantastic.
I have not seen it. I want to see it as well. But yeah, it's honestly just a comic-y positive for a second. It's the one thing to me that's doing a proper like copy of the MCU where they keep building their like interconnected universe instead of like trying to start off the bat with like all this stuff. And I think they're doing an okay job. Like, I didn't like the last Kong Godzilla movie, but I hear this one's quite good. But anyway.
The most disappointing thing that I saw the other day about it was somebody broke down the amount of screen time that like Godzilla had on there. And like Godzilla's my guy. And it was like less than 10 minutes in an hour and whatever movie. And I'm like, oh, damn. And it's like the lowest of all of them right now.
Oh, man.
But I still have heard good things about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And all you really need is like a good scene of monsters tearing up shit and like each other, and you're good to go.
Yeah, well, honestly, crap, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, this is just turned into Godzilla podcast at this point, the MonsterVerse cast. But yeah, it's quite enjoyable, these movies. The thing that I also pulled away was like, it said the average VFX budget for superhero productions like Madam Web is around $65 million. That like fucking blew my socks off when I heard that. That is a lot of damn money, which I know they are, but I'm like, for Madam Web, like that stuff looked real bad. Like $65 million.
But they're also saying the average. So did Madam Web actually do that?
Yeah, I don't know. That is true. They just say the average for something like it.
Because another thing is, from what I heard, and I don't know, this is all just hearsay, so let me preference that.
Mhm.
But that, like, we don't get the girls in costumes
Yeah.
until like 2 minutes at the end. So, or for 2 minutes at the end, something to that equivalent. But again, that's just hearsay. I've not seen the movie. I don't know for a fact. But if that's the case, I could see that being a lower, you know what I mean, visual effects deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. That's why I don't know. I feel like it would be way lower. Like I'm thinking like 25 million just cuz I have not seen it, but I've pretty much seen it from all the like stuff that I've watched about it where like they show clips and stuff, like even some of them are even like cam versions of the movie that are like basically pirated versions. And yeah, it looks made on the cheap. The other thing, though, it was I'm going to read this because I just think it's funny. It's clear that Madam Web is just another example that Sony is misunderstanding the Spider-Man IP by making movies about their more obscure characters. With the exemption of Venom Tom Hardy, the average moviegoer is likely unfamiliar with Morbius and Madam Web's characters, which also doesn't bode well for the slightly more popular than Morbius and Madam Web, but still obscure than Venom, Craven the Hunter, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What does all this like say for the Craven movie that's coming out this year?
Oh, it's going to be garbage. It's going to be so bad. I think it'll be better than Madam Web. I don't know if it would be better than Morbius, though. I just think
that motherfucker is leaping around hallways like he's Beast.
Yeah. Well, also again, I made the joke. He was bitten by a radioactive lion. Like what?
Right.
Like what? Why? Anyway, I got a feeling it's going to be bad, but I don't know. Cause he doesn't, I don't know. It may be better than Morbius because Morbius has the bad CGI when he's turning into a vampire and stuff. And I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I think that Aaron Taylor Johnson has the charisma to pull something like that off. I just don't think the story's going to be there because again, we're like we joked before, this is Craven the Hunter, pet detective. This is not an actual seems like Craven Hunter movie. And one of the articles that you had sent me about this was that he read Spider-Man's The Last Hunt.
Yeah.
And was all excited about the kid. I'm like, motherfucker, you're not doing that story.
Yeah, Craven's Last Hunt.
That's not what this is. Craven's Last Hunt. I apologize. Yes, yeah. Craven's Last Hunt.
Yeah. No, it's... Do we want to get into that article? You could just move into that one. I figure that's a good transition.
No, yeah. I figured you did a great segue to it, so I was running with it.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, I'm just going to read some more excerpts from it. It says, speaking with Rolling Stone, Aaron Taylor Johnson touched on what drew him to the character of Craven the Hunter and why he ultimately agreed to star in the upcoming movie set with Sony's Spider-Man universe. I think there was something unique about this character and something grounded, he said. We've all had enough of seeing certain studio films, a certain kind of pop culture where the churning out of stuff that dilutes wanting to go to the cinema. I wouldn't have signed on to it if I hadn't felt there was something to really bring to life with this character. First off, he's talking about the actual MCU. And I'm like, right. Bro, what do you don't even know what you're saying right now. You're joining Sony's awful garbage interconnected universe. And you're saying the MCU, don't get me wrong, they've been putting out basically wet farts left and right lately. But the Sony stuff is straight up, you just shit yourself. He goes on to say, the article goes on to say, Taylor Johnson said, reading Craven's Last Hunt, the comic storyline, which you mentioned this, by J.M. DeMatteis and Mike Zeck, factored into his reasoning as well as the movie rating R. You just think, what the fuck have I just read? Which honestly is a natural reaction to Craven's Last Hunt. That's the kind of character I'm playing, he said. But then a lot of the people who grew up with Marvel are old enough to watch an R-rated movie. He added, taking a Sony/Marvel movie is a different challenge altogether. There's the story, the character, the role. That's one thing. But then you also step into the world where you're dealing with a studio and a franchise or possible franchises, though let's not get ahead of ourselves. So they're rolling the dice on me in a sense, which is a lovely thing, but you've got to appease the studios, please the audience, and do what's dignified for you as an actor. I find all of that super challenging, which I'm like, again, I don't think you starring in one of these Sony movies is dignifying for you as an actor. Because, like, I do like him. I liked him in Kick-Ass. I liked him as Quicksilver, though I think I like Evan Peters better. He was really good in that Brad Pitt, was it Bullet Train, I think it's called, where he plays Tangerine or something like that. I liked him in that. I thought he was good. But I'm just like, dude, stop talking. I know you're trying to be nice, but just stop talking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's got the chops. I think he's got the charisma to be able to play something like that, to be able to act and portray something like that. However, it doesn't matter what he can do with it if the writing is not there. It's not fucking there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like all the shit he's saying, like if some of those things flop, it doesn't matter the rest. It's gonna fucking flop.
Yes, absolutely. Like, there's only so much an actor can do with the material he's given.
Exactly. I mean, people sat there and shit all over Quantumania, and regardless of the shit that happened with Majors and whatnot like that, like speaking outside of that,
right? Yeah,
I loved Majors' performance in that. Yeah. I thought it was really good, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you talk to the masses; they don't give a shit about that movie.
Yeah.
So
I didn't like it. I do agree with you on Major's performance in that. I thought it was great. There was things. Anyway, we did a review on it. Go listen to it.
Yeah, no, I was just saying parallels of like you have somebody like who did a great job like Majors in a movie that people are not liking, even if Aaron Taylor Johnson does a great job as Craven.
Yeah,
like if the story's not there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that they may pull him back in for something else because Sony is like, Marvel, help. Marvel, please help. Please.
Again, I keep going to just do a Spider Person movie. Like, you've got so many Spider people. Do one of them. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm just like, everyone likes Spider-Gwen. Do a Spider-Gwen movie. Do a Spider-Gwen movie. It's not hard. Just do it.
Spider-Gwen, hell, pull Andrew back. Pull Toby back. Either one of those. Pull one of them back. If you're wanting to do, like, and then all the rumors that we keep hearing about how they want to sit there and bring him in for Spider-Man 4 and do a whole nother, No Way Home again because that brought them bukus of money. Fucking skip all that.
Yeah.
Skip all of it. If Andrew's willing and he's looking for a payday, bring him in to do Craven's Last Hunt with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I don't know. I would see that. It depends because no one agrees with me, but Andrew Garfield's like a lot of people's favorites. He's not my favorite. I like the Tom Holland version.
Yeah.
But anyway, I could see them doing something like that. I could also see them really fucking it up as well. So I don't know.
I guess my point is that like if Sony's looking for a payday, I think the average Spider-Man person would go and see that.
Yes,
is what I think, and it would bring in money.
If you wanted to bring in money that at least made its money back,
right,
you put a Spider person in it. That's what I'm saying as well. Like, you don't throw in just his villains, and then you throw in like obscure villains, though I wouldn't say Craven's obscure, but I feel like for the average moviegoer, he's obscure. They're like, who the fuck? Who?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have a whole lot of story, right? Doesn't really have a whole lot of stories, but Craven's Last Hunt, I think, does enough for him. So,
right.
Something that is iconic, though, that everybody knows, X-Men 97. Now, the tea on this is the creator, writer, producer of this new line of X-Men 97, Bo DeMeo, was fired here. And no real, like, why he's fired or anything like that. Just, like, hearsay. There's out there a free OnlyFans that he has.
Yeah.
There's him being difficult to work with, apparently.
Yeah.
But everybody is fucking loving 97 from what I've heard. I've yet to still see it, but that's what I keep hearing is it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah. I've still yet to see it as well, only because I am waiting, because I just don't like, especially cartoons. Like, I'm doing it with Invincible. I'm waiting till all the show's done, and then I'm just gonna binge all of it at once. I hate this waiting week to week crap. But yeah. So allegedly, again, we have to say that so we don't get sued. But it's supposedly he was fired weeks before the premiere of X-Men 97, and it was all kind of like it just happened one day, and his like Instagram page went down,
Right.
and no word of anything came out for a while, and then a couple of weeks later, a couple of weeks later, it was revealed that supposedly he had an OnlyFans, and that was the reason why Winterbaum came out and made a statement and said that basically they just parted ways.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Snyder, who has a paid newsletter called the In Snyder, he's not related to like Zack Snyder or any of the other Snyders, but anyway, which usually includes his important scoops and insider information, also revealed that the X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMeo was a nightmare to deal with on a daily basis, and that Disney's executives found the showrunner to be like his OnlyFans stuff to be creepy and disturbing. So I'm like, what? What the fuck does that mean? Like,
right. Well, and like one of the ones that I was reading was saying that, he didn't put anything ridiculous on there. Like it was just him shirtless.
Huh.
So it's like a flip flop of,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he was getting paid for it either. Like it was free
Yeah.
from what I read in another article as well.
I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that allegedly if he was a nightmare to work for, they were just looking for an out to get rid of him. And when they found out he had an OnlyFans, they were like, oh, you're gone.
Maybe so, because the other things he worked on before 97 were Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And early scripts of Blade.
Yeah. And The Witcher, which that isn't Disney.
Yeah, he did do The Witcher, yeah.
But I'm gonna read like the read between the lines here and just say maybe that's what happened here. It's very weird though. It's very, very weird.
I totally agree. Something else that's weird. You showed me a trailer for a video game called Marvel Rivals.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be coming out on PC. This looks like Marvel's version of Overwatch to me. Can you please? Is that what this is?
Yeah, that's literally. I was like, it's Marvel's new 6v6 shooter, and I was like, it's Overwatch with Marvel characters. Like it's almost on the point where I feel like they may get sued by Blizzard because like they have even the same little like kill like icons whenever you like shoot someone and then eventually you kill them. It's like the same as Overwatch. And I sent it because Jeremy and he's not here obviously for this episode, but he and I played Overwatch like a ton. And I like Overwatch. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, Overwatch with all my favorite Marvel characters? Fuck yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, so the only experience I have with Overwatch is that I went over to Jeremy's house one day when he was like living here.
Right.
And he was playing it. And there was so much shit going on. I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. I don't know how you know what the fuck is going on right now. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? And I'm just like,
that's funny. Yeah, so it's like it's depending on how it's done, it's like either first person or third person, and usually there's like King of the Hill style where you like take over a territory or maybe you go capture a flag or something like that. And each character has like their own role. Like someone will be kind of like a tank or whatever. There's terminologies like DPS and all this stuff. But anyway, and you each have like your signed role. Like someone's like more spongy. In other words, they take like too much or they can take a lot of damage, but they don't deal out like a ton because obviously you need to be balanced. And then there's the more like squishier characters who can't take a lot of damage, but they deal out a ton. Anyway, it looks a lot of fun. The characters in there are Namor, Loki, Magic, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Luna Snow, who is like a newer character, I think created in like a video game. She's almost like Dazzler. She's like a K-pop star mutant character.
She came out around the Agents or the War of the Realms, Agents of Atlas,
Okay.
around that timing in comic books. Anyways, that's
Okay.
about when she came out.
I gotcha. Black Panther, Iron Man, Hulk, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Magneto, Mantis, and Penny Parker, which is another Spider-Man variant. And then I love they have Gally or how do you say her name? It's not Galacta. Is it Galacta? Or
I think it's Galacta. It's the daughter of
yeah,
Galactus.
the daughter of Galactus, but she looks like an anime like chick. Like she looks
right.
like your own Galactus waifu. I was just like, what the fuck? But yeah, the gameplay looks kind of fun. It looks like Loki's OP as shit. How he can just like turn into like he can take whoever's powers and then use those powers. Anyway, I'm probably gonna play this whenever it comes out, or at least try it. It seems like it's a free to play, which I kind of hate. I feel like those are cancer to the like gaming community, but whatever. I still will probably give it a try.
One of the characters I either missed or I didn't hear you say that I saw that was on there to keep going along with Mutant Madness is Magic.
Yes, I did mention that. Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I thought that was cool that, we just sat there and did New Mutants and all that, and she was there. So
yep, and
awesome.
One of her abilities, she turns into Darkchild, which is what that trilogy would have eventually led to.
Yes. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Another game that's coming out that I think is going to be fucking fantastic is the Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. This is coming out 2025. I am overly whelmed by this trailer, by the way. So just to throw a whelming out there on this one, you get to play as like 4 separate characters, one of them being Azuri, which is a Black Panther from that time era, Captain America, Gabriel Jones, who's part of the Howling Commandos, and Nanali, who is a Wakandan spy, who works for the Wakandan spy network. The graphics look fucking amazing.
Yeah, they do. I too am overly whelmed. I think it looks great. They had the trailer, and then they also had like another video showing off the new like Unreal Engine that it's going to be running on, and it just all of it looks fucking amazing. I'm super hyped for it as well. And yeah, the Azuri guy, I looked him up. Apparently his other name is T'Chanda, which is T'Chaka's father, so he's
cool.
T'Challa's grandfather.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
And whatever Nanali is like eventually will be his wife, at least in the comics anyway. So I don't know what they'll be following that. I turned on subtitles, and Steve is talking with someone, and he says, by my account, that makes 2 super soldiers loose in Paris. And someone replies, Howard. He says, 3 counting you. So I guess Howard Stark is in this game as well.
Sounds it. He sounds like Howard Stark.
But I want to know I'm assuming Black Panther's one of the super soldiers. Who do you think's the third?
Wouldn't be Bucky.
Yeah, it could be Bucky if they're doing like a different, like kind of like timeline. But I'm thinking, honestly, it's going to be Red Skull since it's the rise of Hydra. And he technically is a super soldier.
No, I like that. We got screwed so bad with Red Skull.
We did
so bad with Red Skull. They should have done some more prequels or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I mean, the way they ended it. I mean, you couldn't do anything else with it. But I'm just saying, like, we got screwed with Red Skull.
I want it so bad because it happens in the comic. I forget the storyline, but at one point, Red Skull impersonates like a politician in the U.S. government. Is trying to like bring back Hydra or something like that. And Red Skull has like the masks that he wears. I wanted so bad for Robert Redford in The Winter Soldier to be revealed that he is in fact Red Skull. And he pulls off like a mask. And my theory was that at the time we knew it was the Space Stone. And I was like, well, it didn't kill him. It just teleported him. So I was like, it teleported him somewhere else on the planet. And eventually Red Skull just lived out, like Captain America was frozen, but Red Skull like eventually moved to America and slowly worked his way up through the US government, infiltrating it and rebuilding Hydra. And then it was going to be revealed that he was Red Skull, but that never happened. And I wanted that to happen. I think that would have been even cooler.
Oh, that would have been great because it would have been that buildup of like the whole Hydra taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything else. Like that would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
one of the things I saw in the article as far as this 1943 was that it's inspired by a 2010 Captain America Black Panther Flags of Our Fathers story.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty interesting. I might need to like mark that or something like that. Maybe we can
Yeah.
do a read or a review of that. I don't know how many issues it is, but
Yeah, I've never read that. We should absolutely read that though, because I want to know more.
right.
The last thing I have is it says there was a line that says the eye of force has been found. And the only thing I can think of is it's the eye of Agamotto. Like maybe that's what they're looking for. Cause you know, like how Hydra's like part of the Nazis. The Nazis were always looking for like ancient artifacts like the Ark of the Covenant and the Spear of Destiny, stuff like that. So maybe they're looking for the eye of Agamotto in this game or something.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something that's not interesting. This kind of like totally. I don't even know why this is news. Honestly, I know everybody's like, look at this, and it's Florence Pugh showing some shit off at the Thunderbolts like trailer lot, and I feel like this is just a right. Like I feel like Marvel / Disney is like steering into this whole scooping, giving out select information almost. Just enough to kind of like, tickle the balls a little bit and maybe satisfy people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, we can pick and choose them what we want to show. Like they're going to get their hands on it anyways. Maybe if we pick and choose what we want to show, then it will satisfy them enough to like get off our back a little bit, talk about that. And then they'll come back and want some more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
like, that's what it makes me feel like anyways.
Yeah, I think you're right because this feels very staged. That's one of my comments was like,
yes,
because there ain't no way. Like literally when she's walking into that studio lot, there's a poster on the wall, or not on the wall, on the door as she's opening it. It's like Captain America being like, I want you. And it's, we've seen it before. It's one of those posters. I think it was in like She-Hulk or something, but it's one of those posters basically saying like, don't leak footage, don't record stuff, don't do this. And I'm like, funny. If she walked in there just like fucking live streaming, or she wasn't live streaming, but like recording something, like she'd get tackled. Like,
well, they even make a joke about that.
Right. Yeah.
They even make a joke about that. So, but they show she's got a new haircut, which I don't like, honestly.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not
not
bad,
a fan of it.
But I'm not a fan of it.
But that is keeping with Black Widow because Scarlett Johansson had a new hairstyle like every movie.
She did. She absolutely did. You're right about that. Her new outfit, her new, spy, whatever, get up. Okay.
Yeah, she's got weird eye makeup that I don't like because I feel like as a spy, you wouldn't have that eye makeup, but that's just me.
She's a widow. It's different.
Okay. Yes.
We see the batons on her back, which I would expect that to be there anyways. And then the biggest thing was, oh, look, it's the new Thunderbolts logo. It has an asterisk on the end of it. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Y'all like getting hyped over an asterisk?
Yeah, exactly. New Rockstars did a whole thing, which he was actually begged that people would, or he was begged by people to like break down and see if they could find anything. And basically, I'm going to save y'all some time. Sorry, Eric Voss. I know you need the views. No, you don't. I'm being facetious there. But it's basically like maybe the set is like the new base for the Avengers, which in modern day story, there's I forget what story is, but the Avengers base is inside Tiamat, a celestial, the same Tiamat that was in Eternals. So more than likely that's probably what that big wall that she was like standing in front of. It's probably the new Avengers base or something. But anyway, I was just kind of like, this is a nothing burger.
Yeah. So I want to ask if you've heard this rumor since we were talking about Thunderbolts anyways. The rumor is the name Thunderbolts for the team will not come from Thunderbolt Ross.
I've heard this rumor, yeah.
In the comic books, but her fucking Yelena Belova's childhood soccer team.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I could see them doing a joke like that. I hope it's not true, but I could see that being true.
No. I could see it being true and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it either.
Stupid as shit. I have mixed feelings about this next one.
Okay.
So nowhere near, the hatred I have towards Yelena Belova and her leaking shit out. Florence Pugh's awesome, by the way. Nothing against her. It's
Yeah.
just that it was totally staged.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse, The Spider Within. This is a 7-minute short that is free on YouTube. It is connected. It's by Sony. It's connected to the Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, all that jazz. It looks like it plays in between Into and Across.
Yeah.
So take that if you go to watch it. I have mixed feelings on this. I'm whelmed. There's stuff that I really liked about it, but then when we got into the deeper parts of it, and the spider monster that's within inside him that he's terrified of, and that coming at him, I didn't enjoy that as much.
Yeah.
But just the daily struggles of life and how that they paneled that out, and it came in on him. I was like, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. I have arachnophobia, ironically. And the idea of a giant spider chasing me down and then exploding into millions of little spiders is fucking terrifying to me. I like some of the horror elements, like the shadow version of Miles that you see with the glowing yellow eyes. They did this in partnership for the Kevin Love Fund, which is a foundation or something that deals with mental illness and depression and stuff like that. So I think that's what the point of the story was, is Miles getting down, and it's also dealing with depression in teenagers.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was really the point of it. I also kind of wonder, because they originally claimed that Beyond the Spider-Verse was supposed to be released, 3 days ago, the 29th? So this video released, I think, the 27th. So I seriously think they were just put something out. We got to put something out.
That's funny. I didn't even put that together. But yeah, I've seen lots of people who are like, Beyond the Spider-Verse is what I'd be talking about today had it been released.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, oh, you're not spiteful at all. Oh, let me ask you, are you spiteful about this, though? Peacemaker Season 1 is not going to be canon with the new DCU. However, Peacemaker Season 2 will be. Is that going to be confusing as fuck or not?
Yes, it is. Absolutely it is. I hate, I get why, because at the end of Peacemaker 1, they have the original recipe Justice League from the DCEU. But this is just muddying the water. And in that article, it says on Threads, Gunn confirmed that the first season of Peacemaker, which premiered in January 2022, won't be canon to the new DCU that officially begins later this year with an animated Creature Commandos series. The second season, however, will be canon to the new continuity going forward. Many strands will remain consistent, yes, insofar as Peacemaker's story goes, Gunn clarified. And I'm just this just muddies the water more. I just I just want a clean break for I don't know, maybe it won't matter because I don't know how many people watched Peacemaker originally, but I feel like this just muddies the water more. I kind of want don't even do Peacemaker season 2, just make it part of Waller, that series. But that's just me.
That was something else I was going to mention, that it said in the article that Waller is basically a completely different series. That had been somehow tangled up in my brain that maybe Waller was going to be season 2 of Peacemaker. And I don't know if it's because he's going to be in it as well, or I don't know what it was that made me think that they weren't different. But Waller and Peacemaker season 2 are going to be two totally different things, their own properties, which I assume each character would cross over kind of thing.
Yeah.
I took this more as the Blue Beetle movie, where, because it even said in that article, this property's out there and there's information that you will take from it.
Right.
But as a whole, no, it's not going to be canon. But there are going to be things that, if you watched it and you enjoyed it or whatever the case was, we're going to bring that over into ours as well.
Okay.
That's how I'm taking it as, anyways. So now I think it's different because Blue Beetle was a movie and not a TV show. So it's not like it's season 1 and season 2. But that's kind of where I'm at mentally with it. So
yeah, I got you.
I found it pretty interesting that they're going to be shooting season 2 at the same time as Superman.
Yeah, that's weird. Does that mean Peacemaker's going to show up in like a post-credit stinger.
Oh no.
I hope
I don't
not
want
either.
that.
Yeah, I don't want it either. Yeah, no, I really don't want that at all. Like, I liked Peacemaker. I really didn't think I would, but I ended up liking it more than I thought. And yeah, I don't want that to happen. Yeah, it's also worrying me too, because Gunn said that he would not he wrote all the episodes, but he would not be directing all of the episodes.
I saw that. I saw that as
And
well.
I feel like Gunn's best stuff is when he writes and directs.
Well, did he wrote all the parts for Quill and them in no, Infinity War,
Yeah.
didn't he? Didn't he write all their stuff and then the Russos directed them?
Yeah, the Russos, I don't know the exact details, but I want to say the Russos collaborated with Gunn to do all of the like Guardian stuff for they're in Endgame, but they're not like a big player in that. But yeah, Infinity War.
Right. Yeah, I was mainly saying Infinity War just because there was a whole dealing with Stark and them trying to fight Thanos and all that jazz. So, you think they collaborated on directing as well?
Possibly? I don't know, to be honest with you.
I got you. What did you think about the Penguin trailer? Talking about it's coming out this fall, and just this is a teaser. So it's not. It was labeled a teaser, not a trailer, but a teaser.
Yeah.
What's your whelming on this?
I like that world again. Like I said, I love the griminess of it. I want to live in that world, but like this trailer gave me nothing other than like, yeah, Colin Farrell's great as Penguin. Like,
right.
And again, I have one note for this basically, and it's just like, looks cool, but I wish Batman was in it.
Right. Like we started off this podcast giving, Sony shit because they want to sit there and take villains and turn them into blockbuster properties. And then here we got Penguin over here doing its thing. I'm interested to see it. I want to see it, and I hope it is good just as much as I hope Craven or Madam Web was good, or Morbius. Like, I hope all those. I haven't watched any of them, but I hope they're, if I watch them, I hope they're great for me.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It goes back to something that you've said time and time again. Like, why are you doing all this and you're not bringing the main person that we want to see, which is Batman, which is Spider-Man, which is, whatever character it is.
WB has such a bad track record of doing that, of doing bat tangentially related projects. And it drives me up the fucking wall.
Birds of Prey, we're talking to you.
Yes. Everything, honestly. Like, all the way back to like when they were doing you're referring to the original Birds of Prey?
Yes.
Okay.
The original CW WB Birds of Prey on like primetime TV.
That garbage piece of crap. Yeah, like it just drives me up the wall. Again, like I made a joke a while back, but what is it? It's Alfred, the butler of Batman, had 3 seasons. That's the name of the show, by the way.
Oh, yeah, Alfred. Yeah.
No, I remember. It was called Pennyworth.
Pennyworth, that's right.
The butler, like Batman's butler, the origin of Batman's butler or something like that. And it had 3 fucking seasons. Like, what is happening?
And then Gotham, like, they had a young Bruce on there, but they went fucking hog wild with all the villains.
Yeah.
And, like, their origins and what they did and how they progressed. And like Poison Ivy went from this little rag dog girl to a full blown redhead in like a season because she metamorphosized or something. And it's like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
And there was like Proto Joker, and then there was Proto Joker again, and then there was like Joker, and then it was just like, what the fuck?
And then here's Scott Snyder, Capullo Joker, because we know all you weird fucks want to see that.
Yeah.
That's great. My reaction, I was on the low end of whelmed on this, and it gives me Goodfella vibes, which I love Goodfellas.
Right.
I would say Sopranos, like it reminds me of Sopranos commercials and stuff like that. But I never watched the TV show Sopranos, so I like, as far as the commercials go or the teasers, yes, it gives me Soprano vibes. But as far as like the TV show, I have no idea because I've never watched Sopranos to compare it to that.
Yeah.
So
I want to, but then so many things have spoiled. Like fucking She-Hulk spoiled Sopranos for me. Like, so anyway, yeah. I like the last thing I'll say is I like that they give him his waddle. He has like a leg brace of some sort, and that's what causes him to kind of like waddle like a penguin now. And it's just kind of cool.
That's always a fucked up something with his leg.
Yeah.
Like you had what's his name on Gotham. He had, which I actually liked his performance of Penguin. I really did.
Yeah.
So
I forget that guy's name, but yeah.
I don't. Again, I don't know what to feel about this one either. Like Joker 2. Man, we all know I don't like musicals. I just don't. I think there's one musical out there that I actually enjoyed. It was Les Miserables, and
That was not what I was expecting.
the story in that I think is fantastic, and so I really enjoy that one. And if I get a chance, I'll take my wife to that one. But like,
I really thought it was going to be like South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. Like I really did not expect Les Miserables.
Great. I've never watched Grease because of that shit. Like the whole just singing, dancing.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. I don't have time for this. I need some explosions and shit. I need to feel dirty at the end of this. But yeah, there's 15 songs at least in this. They quoted jukebox musical, and I don't know how I feel about that. The style of Mamma Mia and Moulin Rouge. I've not watched any of that shit either. So I know that damn song got on my fucking nerves in high school with Christina Aguilera and Cher and Little Kim and whoever the fuck else was in there. Foxy Brown, maybe. I don't know what her name is. But man, there's like 4 women that was in that song.
I know. I can't remember who they all were, but Foxy Brown. Anyway.
So yeah, I can't. I don't know that I can do this.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of musicals. Matter of fact, recently I took my my mom to go see Wonka in theaters back when it was in theaters, and I for some reason don't remember Wonka being a musical. And I'm sitting there.
It was.
Yeah.
By God, it was.
And I'm in there and I'm sitting down, and like it just immediately, like as soon as the credits roll, like the opening credits, you get musical, and I was like, oh fuck, what have I done? But I will say this one, Wonka, wasn't as bad. But yeah, all this stuff that they're saying, I'm like, what? Like, there seems to be a slew of musicals again. Like they just did Mean Girls, the musical. There's Wonka. There was another one. I forget what it is. Anyway, it's just weird. All of a sudden, like musicals are back, I guess.
It's like we go through a phase of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll go through a phase, because there was one I can't remember the damn one either, but it came out and everybody fucking loved it, and it was winning Oscars and shit like that. Do you think that's what they're trying to do?
Probably.
Now that like I think about it, like is that what because I feel like Joker got close.
Yeah.
To winning some shit.
Well, Joker
when it came out, or did it win something?
In my opinion, out of all the I'm going to make a villain-centric movie, Joker has been the best one. It should have probably won an Oscar. I forget what it competed against. Maybe it did win an Oscar. I don't know. It made $1 billion, so that's why, honestly, they're making a sequel. And
right.
I know, I forget who the director is, Todd Phillips. He is very arty-farty, so I could easily see him doing this. I don't know. We'll see. It may not be as bad as what we think, but we'll see.
So yeah, I'm like everything else. I hope this is fantastic. I hope it is right up there with Les Miserables, and it's one of those that I just love and I will watch over and over again, because I still enjoy the Joker to this day. I don't know what that says about me, but I really do enjoy that movie. I don't care how dark and heavy it is. I find it interesting that the first one was compared to Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver. Back when it was coming out. And everybody was like, oh, that's a great cult classic movie, and was talking about it. And then this one, everybody's its influence, I guess, is one from The Heart from 1982, which apparently was a giant flop.
Yeah.
So I've never even heard of that movie, honestly. Again,
I've never seen it. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
So now I'm like, I hope there's fucking just genius in this, is what I hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I hope because they're talking about how Todd Phillips does a lot of like risky things.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that's what this is. I hope this is just a genius risky thing that he does, and that it does go for like an Oscar because it is a musical and all. Like that's what I'm hoping for. That's my best case scenario, I guess, with this.
Yeah, I could easily see also like at the end of Joker, you know, when he's like dancing on the stairs, the music is playing, but then when it cuts to like the cops trying to arrest him, like it's just him dancing on the stairs like a crazy person.
I'm great with that.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying is maybe that's what this musical stuff is we'll get like moments with him and Harley and like music's playing and maybe it's he's hearing this or she's hearing this in her head and anyway, and then like that's what they mean by like different musical moments.
If that's what it is, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm great. I don't know why you would get Lady Gaga to not sing.
That is true. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even put that together. The obvious thing of Lady Gaga, because she's got a set of pipes on her too. She can sing really well. Yeah. Yeah. That makes total sense now.
And she's been looking for like all the shit that she had with her label and why she went so fucking weird and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because of things. And so she's always been looking for that, I guess, redemption story, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably a bad choice of words, but like just her being able to be her.
Yeah.
You know? So I wonder if, you know, maybe this would help with that. $200 million for this. This doesn't seem like a $200 million movie to make, dude.
No.
Like, is it because of the song license? Right.
That's what I was going to say. Depending on what kind of songs you do, that jacks the price up. That's the only thing I can think of.
And with at least 15 songs, 15 songs. That's the way I was going to as well.
Yeah. And to put it into perspective, like, I want to say like Quantumania was like a $250 million budget movie. So
good Lord.
Yeah. So that
a lot of that's got to be visual effects.
Yeah. Well, that's why they're not doing any visual effects on this, at least as far as we know. Maybe they're like the world. Maybe they go into this weird world where they dance and sing or something. Who knows? I feel like that wouldn't be the case, but I have no earthly idea. I just want a trailer. I'm ready for a trailer to see what's going to go with this.
I hope they don't do nothing for a trailer.
We just get nothing until the movie.
I hope it's just like almost like the teaser that was however long ago, except for like it's real life people. It's real life Lady Gaga. It's real life Joaquin Phoenix. But like it's just a song, you know, playing in the background kind of thing like that. I hope it's just as simple as that. That's what I hope.
I could be down with that because I like to be surprised, even though I spoil most of the stuff for myself. But anyway.
I was going to say that's kind of what this whole podcast is about.
Yes, exactly.
One last comic book news, which is just, you know how there's some movies where you're like, it's fantastic the way it is. Don't fucking remake it. There's no point in it. Like, there's no point. Like, you could do CGI. Jaws, for instance. Jaws, in my opinion, never needs to be fucking redone.
Yeah.
There's no point. There's absolutely no point.
It won't while Steven Spielberg is alive. The moment he dies, I guarantee you they're making a new version of that.
No, I'm with you, and I'm surprised they haven't already. But like, Jaws is one of those that I feel like stands the test of time. Like, it just is. Like, there's no fucking point. It will be a like word for word remake if you're going to do it. Yeah. So, The Crow. There's a remake of The Crow coming out. Trailer just dropped. Brandon Lee did the original. May he rest in peace, by the way. He had an unfortunate accident on set. If you don't know that story. By the way, James O'Barr is coming to Huntsville Comic-Con as well. Oh, cool. Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo in like 2 weeks. So probably by the time this was like getting out or something like that. So I may be going to meet him. I don't know. But cool. That trailer drop. What's your whelming on that, man?
I've never been. Okay, so there is a lot of like hardcore Crow fans. I was never a goth kid. My wife was. I don't know if she wants me to say that. Love you, babe. She wasn't big in the Crow, but she was goth. But anyway, so I'm gonna say I'm whelmed, but I don't like. I've seen the Brandon Lee movie, and it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't my favorite like comic book movie. Right. There's some elements that I really like in this trailer. Like, when he's going up the stairs and they're just riddling him with bullets and he kind of like falls to his knees. I think that looks really cool and really well done. It looks like something out of like John Wick, if John Wick was like immortal.
Right.
But anyway, for the most part, I'm kind of like, whatever.
I was pleasantly whelmed by this trailer. There's things that I like about it. There's things that I don't. I guess like you, my backstory with The Crow is this came out roughly, I was in like probably middle school to high school area, if I'm not mistaken. Probably middle school. So like I never saw this actually till I became an adult.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a difference because by that time, there's nobody for me to really like talk to and geek out about it because everybody else has already seen it and done whatever with it. And nobody else.
Hey guys, I just saw The Crow. Do you want to talk about it? What are you talking about? That movie came out like 12 years ago.
Where the fuck have you been at, dude?
That's funny.
So, but I'm like you. I was like, okay, that cool movie. Honestly, I didn't even know till recently that it was actually made from comic books. Like I didn't even, I didn't know for a fact that that's what that was. So it was cool finding that out. And I love of course I do. I love the action, violence, gore that's in this, just especially in this trailer. Fucking him getting shot in the chest with a shotgun and like getting himself back out of the tub and like just the splatter you fucking see from that.
Yeah.
And then him getting up, snatching the shotgun away and then knocking that dude to the ground and just his brains are just splattered all over the fucking floor.
Right.
Like I was like, yes. But there's one scene where he's like fighting in a car, and I'm like, this gives me like you were saying, John Wick, Deadpool vibes, and I don't know that I want the Crow to be John Wick. I don't remember seeing him like that. It was the Crow seemed more methodical, more planned out. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe I'm just remembering it wrong because it's been a long time since I've seen it. But I don't know. I don't know. Feel like it was just missing somewhat, or they're trying to make it something it's not.
The other thing that I just do not like, and I know they're updating it for modern day kind of like looks, like, styles change as like generations grow. I hate the design of Bill Skarsgård in this movie. He looks like fucking, everyone said it, but he looks like fucking Machine Gun Kelly. The joke's been going around. He's Machine Gun Crowy. I like the mullet. The mullet is where it loses me, honestly. I'm fine with tats or whatever, though it's a bit much. But that fucking trash mullet, I fucking hate the mullet. You know my stance on the mullet.
I never even noticed the mullet.
Yeah,
I haven't even noticed that yet.
Yeah, he's got a fucking mullet. They do hide it a bit. I remember seeing photos before the trailer was released where they showed like what he was going to kind of look like for the movie. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Why does he have a mullet? Because I'm used to the Brandon Lee version where he's got like the white makeup and the black eyeliner and he's got like the long like death metal hair. And when I saw that, I was just like, what the fuck is this? Get the fuck out of here with this.
So the meme that I saw that I agreed with that I kept seeing was I've seen this one before. And then it was this Skarsgård Crow next to Jared Leto Joker.
Yes,
and I was like, yes, that's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. I was like, why the fuck are we doing this again?
Yeah,
like,
it does.
Why?
It does look like I haven't thought of it that way, but yeah, it looks exactly like Jared Leto's Joker as well.
Well, like, thank God they didn't give him a grill, but I'm just saying, I don't need all these fucking tats. I really don't. Like, it doesn't make me think he's any more of a badass.
Yeah.
Same. You know, that day and era of you're a fucking badass because all the tattoos, that shit, that's not there anymore, y'all.
Yeah.
Hollywood, that's not a thing anymore.
Also for our younger listeners, if there are any, if you have a mullet, you're going to regret it later on in life. Trust me. We've lived through this. Some of our parents gave us mullets as children. Like, you will regret this when time goes on.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I didn't even notice the mullet, or I had said something about it already because I thought he just had short hair, and I was fine with the short hair, honestly.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. We're not going to do the long hair. That's fine. That's fine. I got no problems with that. Also, I feel like he's not going to have the characteristic paint, or at least just the black, until like the final scene of the movie. That's going to bother me, honestly.
Well, and this is the part where I don't know much about the Crow, but I want to say that in the comic, that isn't paint. Like, that's one of the things that a lot of people were kind of mad about, is that when he dies, he's just a pale corpse. And then when the Crow like brings him back to life, and he and gives him that power, he starts like crying because he realizes he's dead, and his girlfriend, like the love of his life, is dead. He cries, and those cries turn black, and they sort of just like permanently stain his like white skin, and that's why he looks the way he looks. I want to say that's the comic version. In both versions, they just put makeup on.
Man, like if that's the case, and they did a remake and they didn't do that, like why would you not? Yeah. Why would you not go with that?
Yeah, you'd have to talk with a big Crow fan. I want to say I'm right, but I could. Someone's probably screaming at me right now if they're like, "No, it's this."
For those of you out there that's screaming right now, we're going to put this on the list as far as with the Captain America Black Panther book too. So maybe we'll get this read as well, because I have not read it either.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
So another one of those things you didn't know. You know, the movie segment that we've kind of fallen off of, but movies you didn't know were comics. We could throw that
comics that you didn't know were movies.
Right? Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
We don't even know our own segment anymore. Well, like everything else, I hope this does turn out well. So we will see when it comes out.
Yes.
I didn't write a date down. That's my bad. Sorry, guys.
I didn't either.
You have anything else?
I do not.
I am done as well. So, Richard, where can they find you at?
If you want to contact me directly, I have an X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram, and a Threads. My handle is Night Curry, night like day and night, and curry with a K. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail. Our Gmail is comicallycomicspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, maybe TikTok, we'll see, Instagram, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics Podcast. And if you want to check us out on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics with an X.
Awesome. You can find me on Instagram, eBay, Shortbox22_comics. You can also find me on YouTube at 22 Comics. Make sure you come back next week as we start back with Mutant Madness. We got X-Men facing off against the Dark Phoenix. You're not going to want to miss that, and see who goes on to the next round. As you shake your head, Richard.
No, I'm saying you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a very, very interesting episode, I think.
Right? The very first one that started it all off with the last one that, finished it all off.
Yes.
I think it's going to be really cool. Outside of that, thank y'all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed as much as we did making it. With all that being said, say goodbye, Jeremy.
Goodbye, Jeremy. Goodbye. Come back, Jeremy. Come back. Come back to see us. Come back and see us now.
Boy, you guys are a hell of a duet here. Why'd you start harmonizing?